Israel, the land of Father Abraham and his descendants that would be the same in number as the stars in the sky or the grains of sand on the beach. As children, we learn it is a wonderful place, flowing with milk and honey that God set apart for his people. Never was it thought of in a bad light. To learn more about this country and its culture, I interviewed two women, Danielle Karda and Frida Gruszkowski, who were born and raised in Israel.
It was actually interesting because I lived in a place where there were a lot of Americans, so grew up with Americans. All my mom's friends were American, so I had a pretty American resembling childhood.
I guess it's the best years to be in Israel was when I was there, before the wars and before the whole terrorism.
Now as we get older, we can see that, while in history Israel was its own nation, the Jews have been pushed out and persecuted in every place that they tried to call home.
I grew up in a small little community called Maccabim. It's next to Modi'in, which is a much larger city, and it's right between Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, so it's and on a border. I feel that the kids mature because they have to mature, and living on a border, I could see the pupils of the Muslims living next to us, and they would yell inappropriate things at me sometimes, and that was the most difficult growing up. So that's the only difference I could think of.
Because of anti-Semitism in Europe, Theodor Herzl started the Zionist movement in 1894 after the uproar of the Dreyfus Affair. Finally, the Jews were given back their homeland in Israel. However, this success was short-lived. The Muslims that were living in that area had already taken control of the capital of Israel, Jerusalem. They were angry at the thought that their land might be taken away and given to the infidels.
I'm against fighting at all, so I don't like fights, but in this case, we have no another choice, because if we will not fight for our rights, it means that we will be destroyed. And to be destroyed, it's as the Arabs says, they want to send us to the sea. They want to see all of us dead. And of course, no one wants to be dead.
Now we can see that this conflict has come to a fever pitch as we watch Israelis being harassed by their Muslim neighbors and suicide bombers killing innocent people, playing over and over on the news.
There was once, I lived there 8 years, and there was once a suicide bomber close enough to where we felt the shock of it. But I mean, being an Israeli, it's hard to think about all these suicide bombers. People usually think oh my God, that's so scary, but it was very safe. It's a very safe community, very safe country. People just feel safe because of the unification of the religion.
In this day, we are celebrating the Holocaust Day. That's to remind all the people all over the world what happened to the Jews when people want to destroy them, what happened to them. We don't want a new Holocaust.
I lived on a pretty safe neighboring place. We had patrol every half hour, drive around. It was very different from America, just from the independence that we gain. Just being an Israeli, it's a lot less rules, so I feel that the kids mature. Just being as independent as I could be. I mean, I know I was young, but there's just a whole sense of independence there, and just the freedom, not so many rules like cops getting you for curfew, and kind of the trust of being able to walk and talk to strangers. And it was a much safer feeling just growing up. And also there's a holiday called Lag BaOmer, which is you light campfire wood basically. So the entire neighborhood, everyone, there'd be hundreds of people there, and they all would just gather at this field, and we would all just light campfire wood and sing songs and do barbecue and food, and it's just united everyone for a holiday. It was really cool.
There are few, but the favorite was the sea, the beach, the nice girls, the nice childhood, holidays. We have very nice holidays. A few of them are coming from our Bible, the Torah, and I love the Passover that we used to sit all the family and we read the Haggadah, and it's very nice.
However, after interviewing the two women, I realized that Israel is more like the place I thought of in my childhood, rather than the complete war zone that it is thought to be today.